In the evening, your cat has the whole house to choose from. The warm laundry, the sunny spot by the window, a dozen quiet corners where no one would bother her. And still, she crosses the living room toward you. Her tail lifts straight up with a little hook at the very tip. She lets out a soft, short, and when you look down at her, she holds your eyes for a second, then slowly closes them and opens them again. You have probably been told this is just body language, that somewhere there is a chart, and if you memorize it, the tail means one thing, the ears mean another, the eyes mean a third. And that is not wrong. Reading those signals is real and worth learning. But here is what the chart leaves out. Almost everything she just did, she did not inherit from the wild. She invented it. After cats moved in with people, they built an entirely new way of speaking. And the strange, lovely truth is that this language has an audience of one. It is pointed at you. By the end of this, you will catch your cat saying 3 of these invented words. And the third one is something she physically cannot do unless she trusts you. To understand why that matters, picture where your cat came from. Her ancestor is the African wildcat, a solitary hunter that lived, hunted, and mostly died alone. An animal like that does not need much of a social voice. It speaks in scent. It leaves messages along the edges of its territory, in the rub of a cheek against a branch, in marks another cat can read hours after it is gone. It is a private, chemical language, and between cats, it works beautifully. Then, around 10,000 years ago, something shifted. Cats began living near humans, near our grain stores and our early settlements, packed closer together than a solitary hunter was ever built for. And they ran into a problem. We are hopeless at reading them. We cannot smell the message on the branch. We do not catch the half-second flick of an ear. A cat could say everything it knew how to say, and the huge, clumsy human in the room would miss all of it. And here is the part that is easy to miss. We did not tame the cat the way we tamed the dog. Cats more or less domesticated themselves. They drifted in toward the mice around our grain stores, decided the warmth and the easy meals were worth putting up with us, and stayed. Nobody bred them to obey. They opted in. But an animal that opts in still has to be understood, or it gets nothing from the bargain. So the cats that found ways to reach us, to be read and fed and kept close, were the ones that thrived in a human home. You have lived with the result without ever calling it that, the little sounds you answer without thinking, the way you somehow know when she wants the door opened. None of that is in your head. So cats did something new. They started building signals from scratch, not for other cats who already understood them perfectly, but for us. Ways to say the things that suddenly mattered when your survival was tangled up with a person. I am friendly. Please feed me. I feel safe with you. That is the shift that changes how you see your cat. She learned to talk to you in words she made up for the occasion. There are 3 of those words, and she says the first one the moment you walk in. Watch a cat greet someone it likes and you will see it. The tail goes straight up, vertical, often with a soft curl at the very tip, like a question mark. A cat trotting across the kitchen floor toward you with its tail held high like a little flag. We tend to read it as a happy tail and leave it there. Happy cat, tail up, simple. The warmth behind that reading is right, but the tail up is stranger and more touching than just happy. In the late 1990s, a researcher named Charlotte Cameron Beaumont at the University of Southampton set out to study this exact signal. She used simple silhouettes of cats in different poses and watched how real cats responded to them. What she found is that the wild ancestors of the house cat do not greet each other with a vertical tail at all. That posture is not in the old solitary playbook. It shows up in domestic cats. They invented it. And they invented it for a reason. When you are a solitary animal suddenly living close to others, you need a way to say, "I come in peace," before you are near enough to fight. The tail up does that. It is visible from across a room or a farmyard. It is unmistakable. It announces, from a distance, that you have nothing to fear from the cat approaching you. Here is the part that lands. Cats use this same invented greeting toward people. The tail that lifts when you come through the door is not your cat simply feeling good in the same room as you. It is your cat choosing a word, one its desert-living ancestors never had, and aiming it straight at you. Hello, it is you. I am glad. A greeting like that, though, is something a cat will offer to almost anyone in the home it likes. The next word is one it saves for family. Think about the sound your cat makes at you. The short meow at the food bowl, the longer one by the door, the little chirp when you come home. It feels so ordinary that it barely registers as anything more than noise or a demand. And yes, a great deal of it is a request. That reading is fair. But sit with this fact for a moment. Adult cats almost never meow at each other. In a colony of cats living side by side, you will hear hissing, yowling, the sounds of conflict and courtship. What you will rarely hear is one grown cat walking up to another and going, meow. Between cats, the meow is mostly a kitten's word, a small animal calling to its mother. I am here. I am hungry. Do not forget me. Most cats grow out of it, with each other, but not with us. Researchers who study cat communication, including Susanna Schatz at Lund University in Sweden, describe the adult meow as something close to a language cats developed specifically for humans. Your cat kept a word from babyhood, a word that means a mother is listening, and carried it into adulthood and pointed it at you. Some cats even develop particular meows for their own person, little sounds they use with you and no one else. I will say the slightly cheeky part out loud because it is true. On some level, your cat worked out that this sound gets results, and it uses it shamelessly. But do not let that steal the warmth, because the deeper thing underneath is real, and it is this. To keep meowing at you, the way a kitten meows for its mother, your cat is treating you like family, like the one it calls for. In a quiet house, when that small voice goes searching room to room for you, that is what it is doing. It is calling for you. There is one more thing your cat does, and it might be the boldest of all. She rolls onto her back right there on the floor in front of you and shows you her soft belly. Paws in the air, completely undefended. Almost every cat owner has made the same happy mistake here. You see that exposed, fluffy stomach, you reach in for a rub, and you get a sudden clamp of claws or a quick nip for your trouble. And you pull your hand back thinking she tricked you or changed her mind in a heartbeat. She did not. You just misread the single most trusting thing a cat can do. A cat's belly is where all the soft, vital parts live, with no ribs to guard them. For an animal that spent millions of years as both hunter and hunted, turning that belly up to the sky is close to unthinkable. In the wild, an exposed stomach is how you end up dead. So a cat only does it when some deep, ancient part of her has gone quiet, when she has decided there is nothing here she needs to defend against. Think of how it feels when someone you love wraps you in a real hug, the kind where you both go soft and open at the same moment. That is the register she is speaking in. And this is not only a sweet idea. In 2019, at Oregon State University, led by Kristen Vitale, published a study in the journal Current Biology showing that cats form genuine attachment bonds with their people, the same kind of secure bond a human baby forms with a parent. Most of the cats they tested used their owner as a safe base, a source of calm in a strange room. The belly turned up at your feet is that bond made visible. It is not a request for a rub. It is a quieter and braver sentence than that. With the most defenseless part of herself, she is telling you she trusts you with her life. If this is already changing how you hear your cat, consider subscribing. Now, the last word, the one that matters most. You have seen your cat do it. You are sitting nearby, maybe reading, maybe half asleep yourself, and your cat looks at you and slowly, lazily closes its eyes. A long, soft blink. Then the eyes drift open again. It looks like pure contentment, a comfortable, sleepy cat. And it is that, but it is also far more. In 2020, a team of animal behavior scientists led by Tasman Humphrey and Karen McComb at the University of Sussex published a study in the journal Scientific Reports about this very thing. They called it the slow blink, and they ran 2 experiments to find out whether it is genuine communication or just a cat being drowsy. In the first, they worked with 21 cats across 14 different homes. The owner sat a short distance from their own cat and gave it a slow blink, while the researchers compared what the cat did against quiet moments when no one was interacting with it at all. The cats blinked back, that same soft narrowing of the eyes, far more often after their owner had blinked first than when they were simply left alone. A signal went out, and a signal came back. The second experiment went further. This time a stranger did the blinking, someone the cat had never met. After that slow blink, the cats were more likely to get up and approach the stranger's outstretched hand than when the same person had kept a flat, neutral face. A soft blink from someone they had never seen before was enough to make them trust the room a little more. Stop and feel what that means. The slow blink is not a sign you read off your cat like a label. It is a conversation. You can send it, your cat can send it back. It is the closest thing the two of you have to a shared word, something you can both say and both understand. Researchers think it may have begun as a way to break off a hard stare, since a long, direct stare can feel like a threat to a cat. Softening the eyes became a way of saying, "I mean you no harm." Over time, with us, it grew into something warmer, a small, slow, deliberate, "I am comfortable with you." And unlike the others, this one you can answer right now. The next time your cat catches your eye across the room, try it. Narrow your eyes and let them close, slowly, the way your cat does. Then wait. There is a real chance, backed by that study, that your cat will blink it right back. You will have said something to each other in a language neither of your species was born speaking. Now line them up and look at them together. The tail that lifts when you walk in, the voice that calls through the house for you, the belly turned up at your feet, the slow blink across a quiet room. 2 of those 4, the tail up and the meow, your cat's wild ancestors simply did not have. Cats built them after they came to live with people. The other 2, the bared belly and the slow blink, are words your cat offers only when it feels safe enough with you to mean them. Which means the thing you have been calling body language is not a loose set of generic cat behaviors you happen to be standing near. It is a language, a real one, assembled over thousands of years for the specific purpose of reaching a creature that could not read the old signals. And in your home, in your evenings, that language has one listener. It was built for you, and it is aimed at you, and it is spoken to you. You are not simply sharing a house with a small animal doing its own quiet thing. There is a conversation going on. After all these years together, your cat has been talking to you the entire time. You just did not know how many of the words were invented on your account. One honest note, because you deserve the truth and not only the sweet version. Not every signal your cat sends is a love letter. The same body that says, "I am safe with you," also tells you when she is frightened or hurting or has simply had enough handling for one day. A tail that lashes, ears that flatten, a body that shrinks away. Learning to hear those words is part of this too. And on a hard day, as she gets older, it may be the most loving thing you ever learn to read. We will come to those in another video, but they belong to the same truth. Your cat is always talking. The least we can do is learn the language. So try it tonight. The next time she settles in beside you, catch her eye, soften yours, and let them close, slowly. See if she answers. And when she does, come tell me her name and which of her 3 words she uses with you the most.